Hey everybody, it's Mike here. This is my Legends of Tomorrow episode 14 review, I believe. I think did it go on break? I don't know for sure. No, it didn't. But I'm very late in this video, so we're going to try to get past this episode. I just watched it this morning. I was really glad I didn't get spoiled at all through those days. But yeah, this episode was okay. There's a lot of things I did not like about this episode. Specifically, Hawkman. Get rid of Hawkman. I hate Hawkman on the show. I think that he kills the show so much. Like, talk about Kendra bringing the show down, but he just kills it. And I really love Sierra Renee's Hawkgirl. Like, there are some times where I'm like, really Hawkgirl? But there are other times where I'm like, oh my gosh, Hawkgirl is amazing. Because I am a huge Hawkgirl fan. She's one of my favorite DC characters. But Hawkman on the show, oh my gosh, he kills the show every single time. Now, I did, however, like how Vandal Savage was in this episode a lot more, and how he was interacting with the characters. What I didn't like is that they really rushed over Jax a lot. Like, let's talk about it. So let's get into this episode. So basically, in this episode, they are on the time ship, right? They're trying to figure a way to get to the vanishing point. They're trying to figure out a way to kind of make sense of them capturing Vandal Savage, because he's not dead, because Kendra didn't kill him in the last episode. But Hawkman's memory, he was all jumbled up in there. And I really thought the story was going good when it was introduced. I was like, oh my gosh, because like when I saw Hawkman's reveal, I was like, oh, Hawkman's alive, like this is craziness. And then they just do this thing at the end of the episode where he just gets better. And I'm like, yeah, Arrow, Flash, and Legends, they tend to do these things where it's like one episode. But it's like, what Ben McKenzie says about Gotham is that when you do something like a big villain, or you do something like a big story or an arc or something, you do it in one episode, it kind of doesn't make sense, and it hurts the show more than it helps it. So that's why Ben McKenzie was so excited that they did Season 2, where they kind of spanned the whole story over like a course of episodes. Like Jerome was in like 4 episodes, right? 3 or 4 episodes until he died. So it makes sense that Legends would probably hold off. But I do know that their finale is coming up, so I know maybe that's the reason why they didn't do it. If they did have 23 episodes like Flash and Arrow, then it would make more sense to make Carter forget about his memory a little bit longer. But in this episode, he got his memory back at the end when Kendra was being attacked. I love the interaction between Ray and Vandal when he's just like, you know, you and me have similarities. You know, we were in love with Kendra until Carter wedged me and Kendra apart. He's gonna do the same to you. Really like that. I really like Vandal Savage and Ray's interaction the most out of all the characters. Rip, for me, is like up and down. It's kind of like, okay, I get what you're doing here, but it's like up and down. Like, I didn't like Rip in this episode, because like, even when you turned Vandal into the Time Masters, he was just like, evidence, and like threw the thing up and caught it. It was like, okay, you know, that's a little bit too much, Rip. But it was still fun to see Ray's interaction with Savage. So I really liked it. And I also like Sarah's interaction, although I feel like Sarah's interaction was just, what? It didn't even make sense. She went in there, right, and she was checking up on Savage, and she's like, how's Laurel doing? And it's like, okay, you probably know she's dead, right? So you're going to tell Sarah, and then Sarah's going to get mad at Rip, right? You know, because you were a time traveler. Because we learned that he does travel through time like Rip does. So yeah, it's like, okay, you know. And then it's just like, they don't mention it at all. And I was like, that would be the perfect episode to say Laurel is dead. Maybe she'll find out in the finale. Who knows? Now, there was one thing in the trailer that they didn't have. And they didn't go to Star Labs yet, because they're supposed to go to Star Labs because that happened in the trailer. And they didn't fight those big robots in that one scene where Barry shows up. So it's like, wait a minute, where's the Flash? Why do you guys... This is what I hate about the CW DC verse, that they always do these things. Like, especially, I'm going to do an example. On Arrow, when Laurel's grave, like Laurel's death was there, and Oliver was looking at a grave, and Barry zoomed off with super speed. He didn't even have super speed at that part of the universe. So it's like, what is it? Where's the timeline there? Like there? And then the trailer shows stuff that's not even going to happen in this show unless they reuse that footage for season 2. See what I'm doing there? But it's like, you didn't, like, what? It doesn't make sense. So I feel like all of the things that are happening, especially with Sarah and now with Laurel, doesn't make sense. Especially that Laurel's dead. I mean, shouldn't Sarah know that? I don't know. It's weird. And wouldn't you think, because the Black Canary is a huge superhero right now on Arrow. Everyone knows who she is now. Wouldn't you think that Rip, traveling through the future, traveling to 2166 and all those times, he would know that Laurel is dead? So maybe they're going to do something with it in the finale, and then Sarah goes back to Arrow season 5. Maybe guest appears on that show, and it's going to be a Legends full-time, but then comes back to Arrow. I don't know how they're going to deal with that, but it's like, that would have been the perfect part with Vandal Savage there, telling Sarah Laurel's dead, and then Laurel would confront Rip about it, because she already got onto him about him sacrificing the team for his family. So, you see what I mean? Like, that would have been a really good reveal, but they didn't do it. So it's like, yeah, you could have done that, right? Now, let's talk about Jax, because they completely barreled over him this episode. So it's like, Rip sent Jax to go fix the time ship, right? The time engine or whatever they have going on down there. And so Jax tries to fix it, and then Rip's just like, yeah, there's radiation down there, just mentioning. And then he gets shot by radiation, and they're like, yep, he's accelerating his age. That just like was rushed completely. I was just like, wait a minute, that's way too fast. Like, now you have this big thing that happened to Jax, but what does it mean if you don't take time to develop that first, right? I don't know, it just felt weird to me. But Jax went back to 2016. Martin Stein found a way to reverse the effects on him by sending him back to 2016. So who knows when Jax is going to show up again. Luckily, he's not arrested by the Time Masters. That's a really good thing. Speaking of which, so there's a lot of stuff with Hawkman. I already talked about him. He got stabbed again. Oh my gosh. Kill Hawkman. Don't bring him back. I hate Hawkman on this show. Like, I held out a little bit of hope when he came back and they had the big reveal. I was like, oh yeah, because it's going to get really cool now. And then he got stabbed again. It's like, he's weak. He's not even that big of great of a guy, right? He's like, he got killed the first time. And it's just like, really? Like, what? And he got stabbed again. And it's like, really? They're going to repeat that? I mean, if they would have killed him, I would have been so frustrated. Like, I would have been like, you just killed him off. You're going to do it again? But it's still upsetting. Like, you just stabbed him. You're going to stab him again? Like, really? But he's still alive. But it's like, no. And then they did this whole breakup between Ray and Kendra. And I was like, oh my gosh. Past this, I don't want to see this right now. And then it was like, I didn't like it at all. It was just bad. Captain Cold and Heatwave were in this episode. They were pretty great as always. Sarah is great as always. But they end up getting to the part where it's revealed that Randall Savage works for the Time Masters. They're in league with them, and then Rip gets arrested, and they go to arrest all the others. Ray and Kendra get arrested. Heatwave gets arrested. Martin Stein gets arrested. Jax is gone. We know that. But Sarah and Snart find a place to hide, because Snart was like, hey, we gotta hide. And there was this thing called Alexa that they kept mentioning. I don't know if that's from the Flash season 1. I can't remember exactly. But I've never heard that before, so maybe they'll explain it. I have no idea. That was just weird. I don't know why they included that. Was that necessary? But they could have done another Star Wars joke and said, I have a bad feeling about this, right? They could have done Star Wars jokes. So they ended up hiding. I don't know if they're arrested or not. They didn't make that clear at the end of the episode, but we're going to see probably in the next episode what happens to them. So overall, it was an okay episode. I didn't feel like it was the best episode. I didn't know if there was any Easter eggs in this episode. I didn't spot any or hear any. Again, they could have done a Star Wars Easter egg. But whatever. It's just, it is what it is. But what did you guys think of this episode? Comment down below. I already did some Captain America Civil War videos. I'm doing another one either tomorrow or the next day. I have no idea when. Gotham tonight, I won't be live tweeting, but I will do my review tomorrow, so just telling you guys. Links to my other Legends of Tomorrow's videos, links to my Twitter, Instagram, Vine, vlog channel, and Sims channel. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.